Hello, welcome back to my channel. My name is Sarah and this is my channel, Novel Serendipity, and I'm only a little late in getting this up, but your girl's had a month, so here we go. But here is my Pokemon November TBR. Okay, so welcome back to my channel. It's another hair wash day today. You guys always catch me on my hair wash day, I tell you. I took November off of my TBR game and just tried to catch up on things like work stuff because I was doing some traveling at the beginning of the month and reading stuff. And I didn't finish everything on my list, but I did get close. So I'm going to finish that list off this month and have a slightly ambitious TBR for November. But this month we get my first how do we say this? September. I was supposed to battle Team Rocket and I was only supposed to beat a Bellsprout, which was to read a book with a green cover. I did not do that. So you guys get to be introduced to what happens when that happens. So here we go. I left off on this potion back in September and I was tasked with beating Team Rocket, which was to read a book with a green cover. So since I did not read a book with a green cover, Team Rocket won, and now they get to steal one of my Pokemon at random. So we're gonna pick very randomly which Pokemon they are taking. I'm hoping it's not Eevee because I want to level that thing up. So, oh boy. And Geodude. So I have to read a YA Continue to get Geodude back from Team Rocket. Okay, so I made the Team Rocket ones really easy because it's Team Rocket, and somehow the very first Team Rocket space I land on, yeah. So anyways, this is my little Team Rocket balloon, just flying around my head, teasing me, and in there I have my Geodude. So right before I filmed my board, I did go through my last 3 months and did fill in my level up circles for all of my caught Pokemon, so you will see that this month as well. So Geodude is here. So to get Geodude back, I have to read the prompt on that card to get him back, but it doesn't go towards leveling up, just getting him back. So I have to read a YA Continued to get this little guy back, okay? The dust jacket is upstairs, but I am currently reading Witch's Fire by Josephine Angelini. This is my bajillion time reading it. I am currently on page 211, so I have about this much left, but it is taking me a little bit longer because I am tabbing that baby up. So as you go through, you do see highlighting, tabbing, oranges for heartbreak or pain, and there's a lot of orange, so there we are. But I'm going to be finishing this up hopefully this coming weekend, but we'll see. And I am, I don't know, about half-ish way through of finishing that. So for Geodude, Continue YA, I am going to be finishing Witch's Fire by Josephine Angelini. So here we go. And then Geodude is at the very top. He is captured by Team Rocket. And here are the Pokemon I currently have caught and can level up this month. So our first roll is a measly 1. Great. Okay. Well, I need Pokeballs, so I think I'm going to go backwards 1. And random number is 135. So going over here, I'm going to do 135 or round down depending on the number. And we are rounding down, it looks like, to Ditto. A theme is Deception. Okay, so as you know, I picked Ditto, and the prompt for this one is a theme, and it's Deception. And so this is also a first for this month. I need to read this theme, and then instead of catching the Pokemon, because I didn't have any Pokeballs to catch it, I still get a prize. I get 1 Pokeball, but the Pokemon has to go back into the pool of all the other Pokemon, and then I will have to, try again, because I didn't have a Pokeball to capture it. But so I don't get the Pokemon, but I do get a little prize of a Pokeball in its place to kind of help me in this losing Pokeball era. So when you have really bad months playing this TBR game, you can make it up in the next month, and hopefully that'll hold you over until your next really bad month. So here we are. But Deception. And for this one, I am going with a relatively newer buy, and that is Saint by Adrienne Young. And I I love the series. So I really love Fable, which is the like a duology. She may or may not be making it into another one. I can't remember. I felt like I heard rumors, but I'm not completely sure. So I did get Saint, which is relatively new, I think, this year. And I feel like it fits Deception because it's about pirates. Very Deception-y, you know what I mean? So I'm really excited to read this, but if you don't know, Fable follows a girl who is like kind of like daughter of like a pirate like lord guy, and yeah, so she's kind of like outcasted and has to like fight her way back, and she's like, everything will become mine like it should be, you know, that kind of thing. You know, it's kind of like a almost fantasy, sort of, kind of, maybe a little bit, but mostly just pirate YA romance kind of thing with a really complicated family dynamic. This guy, Saint, oh my gosh, let me tell you. So this follows her father, so it's going to be more like a prequel. So Elias is his name, apparently. He goes by Saint in like the actual duology. But 9 years after his lack of superstition got his father killed, he's grown into a young man with reverence for the hallowed sea and her fickle favor, as stories spread from port to port of the fisherman's son who has managed to escape the deadliest storms. His devotion to the myths and creeds has given him the reputation of the luckiest bastard to sail the Narrows. But when a young dredger from the unnamed scene who has more than one secret crosses his path, Elias's fate will be tested like never before. Totally Fable's mother. So we're learning about her parents and how everything that's told to us in the original duology happened, and I'm really excited. So Deception, because he's a pirate, so there we go. I mean, I don't know if they're technically pirates, but to me they're pirates, so that's all that matters. Like, they're trying to get gems and they're piratey. That's all that matters. So anyways, moving on. And then the second roll is another measly one. You gotta be kidding me. Well, let's just go back forward one and get another potion. That's pretty exciting. So here we go. Let me get that. Here's my little potion basket, and here they all are, except for the one that I got back in September. And, you know, they have little pieces of paper. Could be good, could be bad. Some have Pokeballs, some have Pokeballs and pieces of paper. But I am going to kind of rearrange these, close them up, stick my hand in here randomly, and pull one out. So let's see what this guy is. If I can get it open. So I got a Pokeball, which is good because I clearly need it. And this one is to go back to home. Okay, that's really, really great. Really, really, really great. So I'm gonna put this over here. But when you go back to home, oh my gosh, this is a month of all new amazing things. You visit your mom, basically. So every time you visit your mom, she gives you 5 Pokeballs, just like she did at the very beginning of your journey. So what I'm gonna do is refill that and put it back with the go home thingamabob. And roll 3 is a 2. So 1, 2, I land on a green space with a Pokeball, so I get a Pokeball. I started off this month with none, and now look at me, I'm rolling in the Pokeballs. 39, okay. So 39 is going to be Porygon, which is 177. A book you haven't seen on a booktube. So I'm going to use one of my Pokeballs, put that in there, and I'm going to try to catch this Porygon this month. So here are the 3 cards: Geodude, Ditto, and Porygon. So here we are. Those are the 3 Pokemon. So for Porygon, which is to read a book you haven't seen on booktube, it's not going to be that difficult for me because I haven't been watching any booktube lately, like in months. So here we are. So I picked up one randomly, and I did pick up Reign of Shadows by Sophie Jordan. If this was on booktube once upon a time, I don't remember, but I decided to pick it up. And A World of Darkness, a love that shines. 17 years ago, an eclipse cloaked the kingdom of Relhulk in perpetual darkness, and in the chaos, an evil chancellor murdered the king and queen and seized their throne. Luna, the king's lost princess, has been locked away in a tower in the cursed Black Woods ever since. Luna's survival depends entirely on the world believing she is dead. But that doesn't stop Luna from longing for life beyond the stifling tower walls. When she meets Fowler, a mysterious archer who has braved the Black Woods in search of a land where the sun still shines, Luna is drawn to him despite the risk. So there it is. Book I haven't seen on BookTube. I haven't, so yeah, I don't even remember when I got this, so that's how long it's been on my bookshelf. So here we are. I did start another book last night, even though I haven't finished the other one, but that's fine. I'm gonna try to level up Evie, which is to read a hyped book. And I remember this being super hyped on BookTube and stuff. Once Upon a Broken Heart by Stephanie Garber. I just took that out and it was my bookmark. What am I thinking? Oh boy. Okay, I'll figure that out later. I updated it on Storygraph. But apparently this is about a girl who fell in love, and then she thinks her love is like cursed because now he's about to marry her stepsister. It's kind of like a Cinderella retelling, I think, because like her dad dies, she has like this evil stepmother and so on and so forth. So she goes to the Prince of Hearts. I feel like that's his name. I feel like it's the Prince of Hearts. Is it? Am I lying? No, Prince of Hearts. And makes a deal with him for him to stop the wedding. I'm only like, I think 30-ish pages in or something like that, and it definitely does not go how she expected. And now she has 3 kisses she owes other guys. Like, not him, because apparently if you kiss the King of Hearts, you'll die, because the only person, the only woman who can withstand his kisses is his true love, which he hasn't found yet, blah, 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 blah. And yeah, so she's only ever kissed one guy, this guy named Lucas, something like that. And yes, but she's found that every time she tries to talk to him or her sister about it, like no words come out, and he hasn't talked to her since. So she's like, this has to be a curse. So she went to the Prince of Hearts to get that fixed. I have a feeling they're probably gonna fall in love because this is a YA fantasy, but we'll see. And I feel like Luca, whatever his name is, I feel like he's bad news. We haven't really learned much about him in like 20 some pages, but I'm not convinced. So yes, to read a hyped book, I'm gonna level this guy up for Evie. This is going to be the last month you ever see this book on a TBR because it's been on probably a dozen TBRs, and I will get to it this month. If I don't know. I honestly have no idea what to say. But I'm gonna level up Squirtle, which is a standalone book, and this was meant to be done months ago. So I'm just gonna put this book back on my TBR for this Pokemon to level it up, and it's gonna be Sparrow by Sarah Moon. And all I know is it follows a girl in high school, I think, and no one really knows her very well. She keeps her grades up, but she keeps to herself. And then I think someone finds her on the roof of a school or a building, and they just assume she was wanting to like commit suicide, like jump, and she's like, it goes through that whole ordeal. So yes, I am finally going to read this, and I'm not going to talk much more about it until I actually read it. So if I don't read it this month, you all have permission to come after me. And then for Ekans is to read a thin book, and I am going to reread this book because I need to finish this series. I've read the first book like 3 or 4 times now and have never actually went on with the series, and I'm going to do it because I need to know if I need to keep this on my shelf or unhaul it or whatever, but I don't do that unless I read a book. And once I read the book, I have to finish the series. Like, there's no one could convince me to get rid of the whole trilogy without actually finishing it first. So I need to reread book 1, and that is Shiver by Maggie Stiefvater. I don't even remember what okay, I'm going to guess what this is about because I have read it before. Years ago, multiple times. But I think it's about this girl who's like been obsessed with wolves, I think, or something in her backyard when she was younger. And then when she was younger, she was bitten, but she lived. And then I think later she meets a wolf, but it's like a werewolf. And maybe something happens where that bite meant something or means something or something like that. I don't know. Okay, why am I even doing this? Okay, so Grace has spent years watching the wolves in the woods behind her house. Got that right. One yellow-eyed wolf, her wolf, watches back. He feels deeply familiar to her, but she doesn't know why. Sam has lived 2 lives as a wolf, okay, a boy, a wolf, a werewolf. He keeps the silent company of the girl he loves, okay, got that. And then for a short time each year, he is human, never daring to talk to Grace until now. Okay, so for a short time each year, he's human. Okay, so for Grace and Sam, the love has always been kept at a distance, but once it's spoken, it cannot be denied. Sam must fight to stay human, and Grace must fight to keep him even if it means taking on the scars of the past, the fragility of the present, and the impossibility of the future. So, okay, I got it almost all of it right. I just didn't say it in a very coherent way, so. Okay, and then I can't find it, but one more I'm gonna level up is gonna be my Drowsy. And for that one, I'm gonna read a manga. I did get 3 more manga from the library. I got Yona of the Dawn, volume 12 and volume 13. And then I also got Noragami Stray God, volume 5. So I don't really read during the day, so it needs to be something short and sweet and simple for me to ever level up this Pokemon. And I don't usually read these in one sitting. I usually break them up into like 2 or 3, like in between tasks at work. Sometimes I just need a breather. Like I do one task, I read a chapter, do another task at work, do a chapter, because these chapters take 0 time to get through. So one of these is going to probably count for Drowsy this month, if I can find him. I can't believe I lost him. Maybe Team Rocket stole him too. I'm not sure. But anyways, so those are all the books that I'm going to be reading this month. If you know anything about any of them, or have like good things to say about them, bad things to say about them, your hot take, let me know. But I am very curious. But this is my November TBR. So I hope you like, comment, and subscribe down below if you haven't already. And I'll see you guys all next time. I love. Bye.